What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Verse Crypto channel for another awesome live stream. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about titanX, one of my favorite subjects. You guys know titanX altcoins are going absolutely crazy. I'm seeing store value coins. I'm seeing marketplaces. I'm even seeing meme coins. It is bonanza over here. But there's one really cool project that caught my eye, and it was from one of my buddies on Twitter. He's a frequent streamer, really all around good dude, and he was telling me about it so much. So I invited him onto the show. So I want to welcome to the stage one of my good friends, James. What's up, brother? How we doing?
Yeah, all good over here. Singapore, it's 10 a.m., hazy, hot, and humid. It's like summer all year long. I love it.
Oh yeah, man, dude, the time zones are wild. You know, when I was thinking about it, so Singapore has a lot of founders, a lot of crypto guys, and then you got Eastern Europe, and then you got the US. That's like the hot spot. So trying to get on the same time zone is pretty crazy. What's your thoughts on that?
It's really hard to get on the same time zone. The guy who does our web development is in America, East Coast. The other co-founder is named Michael. He's in Australia. And then I'm here in Singapore. It's impossible to find a time. Like it's either 11 or midnight for one person or it's 6 a.m. for the other person. It's because that's the whole world, right? That's the whole world. The thing is that I've been doing this for a long time. I used to work at IBM and I was flying all around Asia. So I was always in the time zones. So I'm used to like managing time zones. I used a thing called Meeting Planner. I think I may have pinged it over to you. Hey, choose something on here. Then it's done. So it's rough. It's okay, but it's like a game. Just a game.
It's just a game. Well, I know Singapore's probably beautiful. It's a great place to be, and I know a lot of people enjoy it. So I'm glad you can come on the live stream. So I know you've been viewing my my channel for a minute. Thank you so much for the support. And I gotta ask you, man. You talked a little bit about your background, but I really want to know, when did you first get into cryptocurrency?
Yeah. So I wish I would have gotten into crypto when the first person told me about it. Right. And this person, I used to work with him also back at IBM. And so we're outside, having a smoke, having a coffee. It's 2011. And he's kind of like the technical leader, right? And he says, guys, I am creating my own currency, my own digital currency in my room. We're like, what? You can't do that, Brian. This is America. You can't print your own money. And that's what somebody said. I said, the world doesn't need another Google Wallet. And that was it. I parked it. The world doesn't need another Google Wallet. I didn't even listen to what he said. And I wish I would have, because he was mining Bitcoin and he was, getting off forums and PayPal or whatever. So that, anyways, that guy's obviously fantastically wealthy. So I really got into crypto in 2017. I knew it was happening. I saw this whole thing with Ethereum, and I thought this is going to go somewhere. But I didn't buy it. I didn't do anything with it. In 2017, I got a Coin Hako account because it's hard as an American in Singapore to get crypto accounts in 2017 anyways. So I got my Coin Hako account. I put in $500 because that was the maximum. And I had to go to an ATM and put the money in the machine. You couldn't use bank accounts, anything like that. And you could only deposit another $500 in a month. That's just wild, right? 2017. And I didn't know what to do. So I bought a little bit of Bitcoin. I bought a little bit of Ethereum. And then in December of 2017, I saw this thing called Crypto Kitties. And I was like, these are the ugliest cats in the world. What is this, Crypto Kitties? And I got in. I didn't know that Ethereum was a smart contract. I didn't know. All I knew is you could buy a cat for $5 and you could breed it, and you might get a cat worth $1,000. I'm all in, right? I'm doing it. So I did that. I did some breeding, did some Crypto Kitties. Didn't understand what a marketplace was. I didn't know any of that stuff. And then I lost my seed phrase 30 days later. Lost my seed phrase. So I had this little, just dust in my Ethereum account. Luckily, I had pulled some out. And I have 7 or 8 Crypto Kitties still in there that I can't get back out. Don't know if they're only worth $5 each or if there's a big one in there, because the top Crypto Kitty sold for over 6 figures, right? So, and then I paused because I lost my seed phrase. I thought the tech isn't ready for major adoption. You lose your password, you can't get in. It's time to come back to this thing in a year or two. Well, I came back in 2021 in GameFi. A friend of mine in the Philippines messaged me and said, I need $1,000 to play a game. Once again, I thought he's crazy. It's like, what are you talking about, $1,000 to play a game? He says, it's called Axie Infinity, and you can make money. I said, you better make a lot of money for $1,000. So I got 3 of these axes, $350 each. He starts making $20, $25 a day. So I take a cut, right? Because I'm the boss. I hold the NFTs. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have all my money back pretty fast. Call 3 of your friends. We're going to do just a little bit more of this. At the end of the month, I had 12 lineups, 12 people playing. At the end of September, I had 60 people playing. And then I got in this thing called Pegaxi. It's racing horses. I had 300 people playing at that point. Yeah. And then the bear market hit, Russia-Ukraine war hit. And then GameFi went from minus 99%. Your large portfolio went down to literally minus 99x, a little more than 99x actually. So yeah, and I didn't quit though.
Wow.
I got over into Pulsechain and started playing around there, and I've been waiting for the bull run. We know it's coming, and I just started playing around here, and here, and I saw titanX. I'll just say this last thing and I'll let you go. So titanX, I started seeing this little green emblem thing going around. And I thought, another 2% ROI thing a day. I don't want that. I want something good. I didn't even look at it. I just thought it wasn't good immediately. And then I saw DJ Khaled, and I saw Max Moonshot, and I saw Crypto Kindness doing a second one. I'm like, what is this thing? They don't cover 2% ROI dApps. I looked at it. I got right in. That was day 33, December 3rd. Wow. Yeah, there it is. There's the story in a nutshell.
Oh, that's cool. It's ironic that you got on day 33, and that was actually my next question to ask you about, titanX, because I see on Twitter it's probably one of your favorite projects, which I think
absolutely
would be safe to assume. And yeah, did I ever tell you my story about titanX? How I got in on day one?
Yeah. Were you part of like the masterclass or no?
No, I wasn't part of the masterclass. So Jay came on and I interviewed him first when the project was about to come out. And I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk. So I had in my mind, I was going to do a titanX ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, long story short, the next day when titanX had a surprise launch, I got up at 4 a.m. for a big swell. There was like 8-foot waves. It was beautiful. And I looked on my computer. I was like, oh, dang. titanX just launched. Let's freaking go. So I called my buddies like, hey, I'm going to be a little bit late. And so I go in, I start all my miners. Next thing you know, I did 280 days on every single one of them. My plan just goes right out the window. I was just in this to win this. And so I was sitting here, and right when I did, I started screaming. I started yelling. I was like, no. I'm pretty sure my neighbors heard me. And then I just sat there. I put out
calling the police.
Yeah, exactly. And so I put out a tweet. I say, oh, well, I accidentally did max miners on all my mines. So it looks like I'm in this with Jake Sharp. So we're in this to win this. It's over. And honestly, I think it was like the greatest mistake ever. But I mean, overall, titanX, it's really a great community. I see a lot of engagement. I see a lot of people growing. James, what's your overall thoughts on the titanX community and the growth that you've seen?
It is a breath of fresh air. Like what has been created here with the safe contracts and the amount of Ethereum that goes back into the system. This is incredible. Like the dev reward fee. This is what finally kicked me off into work and to doing it. It's just the way that this is all set up, right? A certain amount of lucky people, not privileged people who are like really paying attention, people in the masterclass, people who just follow and like, I'm always watching for the best one. They all got in the first couple of weeks and they've done insanely, fantastically, amazingly well. And you got people like me who come in on day 33, it's still fine. It's getting in today is actually still fine too. So the way that the kind of the project ecosystem has started building out, there's a lot of good projects out there. Then you got some really powerful, amazing people like Mike Dean, who creates the Dune Analytics. He's created the titanX hub to not vet projects, but to list decent projects, what follow like the tick boxes, Docs Founder, gonna pair with titanX and things like that. Overall, I don't see what I would have done differently if I would have been Jake, right? I think he created an amazing framework for us.
Absolutely. Jake did a really great job, and I got to give a kudos to Mike Dean. I mean, the guy's a stud. He's really good at computer development. I mean, software development. And I mean, to be honest with you, I typically, with a lot of projects and the maximalists, quote unquote, I typically beef with every single one of them. Everybody sees it on Twitter, but Mike Dean is I don't know if he's a maxi, but he would be my favorite maxi all time. That's what I gotta say about him. But yeah, really great dude. So we get through the project development. titanX, pretty phenomenal. You see the mission. And now you're telling me we got a new project called BabydragonX, which I'm really curious to pick your brain. But first, we need to talk about another meme coin that's been launching, because there's been meme coins across titanX and it's been going bananas. And I don't know what's going on. I've been trying to keep up, guys, and it's really, really difficult. But there's a project called titanX, I believe, and something happened. Can you tell us your story behind that?
Yeah. Let me tell you a story about JakeX first, though. So JakeX, I was looking for JakeX, by the way, because I knew somebody's going to launch a meme coin. Didn't know when. So I stay up late, right? So like 2 o'clock over here in Singapore, 2 a.m., should I say 2 a.m., 2:30. And it was like last Saturday. And I thought, I'm going to go to bed. I usually don't go to bed at 2:30 on Saturdays. So Sunday night, Sunday morning. So I went to bed and I woke up and I saw everybody's talking about JakeX. It's on Twitter. There's a group started. I'm like, what the hell is this? I said, oh, am I too late? I got in at 350,000 market cap, went up to 450 and then went back down, but I didn't get in there to do 100x. I got in there to participate, right? And I thought it was interesting. You know, there's no there's no founder, like dev. It's all big mystery. I kind of like it, honestly, even though I didn't make some of the big money like others. It's not always about the money. It's about participation and seeing something different. And then something called SharpX came up. I don't even know I know nothing about it because I didn't participate. And in the meantime, like over the past couple of weeks, because I'm one of the builders, I reach out to founders, right? I reach out to Helios and the DragonX guys. And so titanX Market. I just saw him on Smoothing Crypto. I think I saw him on there. And then I reached out to this crazy looking thing called titanX. I almost didn't, honestly. I almost didn't. But I thought it was kind of funny. Like, what are they doing over here? And so I don't know who the person is, male, female, where they're from, don't know anything. Had a couple chats, offered to review their white paper, which is, you know, it's pretty slim there. And then I read over it. I gave them some ideas. In fact, if you read it, the what's it called? Big titty. There's like a thing in there for LPs. Right. Big titty contest. I think it's called that. I was like, you gotta have a big titty contest. So, anyways, I'm not gonna say the word titty anymore. So that's mine. Like that's my addition to the titanX to Memecoin. And so the founder asked, "Can you be a mod? Can you help me out?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any time. So I did. I got up to be a mod. And then I didn't pay any attention. I almost didn't jump in for the launch. So I got in 30 minutes before, noticed that a little bit of chaos in there. Not the good kind of chaos like Khaos Kris, but just a little bit of chaos. You know, people are like, where's the founder? Is this really happening? Is this a rug? I heard something. I'm like, here we go. I said almost nothing, but people know me. They're like, James, can you control this? I'm like, control what? It's not I'm only here just like you. Even though I've got the power of the right click and I can do things, I'm not going to do any of those things. And then the contract came, right? The founder came in, one message. We are now live. Here's the contract. Hundreds of people. Don't click that. Okay, hold on. Don't tell people not to do things just because you don't want to. So then I started to put on the mod hat and say, if you want to participate, go ahead. If you don't, and I suggest maybe you don't, then leave. Like, don't just clog up the chat for nothing. Then somebody said, turn off spam repeating. Put on slow chat. I said, you know what? That's a good idea. So I did put on the 10-second slow chat. I don't know how to turn off anti-spam repeating. And then after 20 or 30 minutes, I said, everybody, I'm going to have to leave. I'm leaving the chat. I have a bag. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm leaving. So I also messaged the founder and I said, hey, don't know what's going on there, but I've left the chat. Ping me if you want to talk about anything. I don't know what there is to talk about. So that's the kind of the inside story. I almost enjoy being there, even though I don't like what happened. And my $70 or $80 bag is now 20. By the way, it went to zero for a minute and came back up to like $20. I don't know what's going to happen there. Is it a buy opportunity? Is it a rug? Is it gone? I know nothing. But I know that I'm not going to do any more in there because I got my own interesting non-rug meme coin to do.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, so here's some of my thoughts about the meme coins on titanX. So when I first looked into titanX, the thing that I really mapped out is what kind of projects will we see and how is this ecosystem going to get mapped out? And basically, most of the projects that were launched were the ones I expected. And I was able to map that out based off of what we saw with projects like Hex, Zen, the ones that are already out there. I knew that we would get to this point where we got these meme coins popping up everywhere. Nobody knows what's which one and whatnot. And that's part of the reason why, specifically when it comes to meme coins launching top of titanX, I get extremely cautious because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if the team is doxxed. You don't know if they have the right procedures to launch it. Typically with meme coins, what I see is they do like a silent ghost launch. Then they announce, hey, here's the token, here's the audit, here's the burn LP, and then they go through that process. So I completely understand where you're coming from, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be coins people talk about, and if they're extremely high risk, people are going to slip up. But I think in my mind, we're getting to that part of the market where you gotta express extreme caution. James, any thoughts on that?
Always caution, caution every day. Don't click those links in your DMs. Don't get into do your settings on Telegram. Make sure people can invite you to groups. Absolutely. I mean, the bull run has started. I called it starting like almost 2 months ago, like the early parts of it, because I could just see it. Like I could see things. And with all that comes a lot more money flowing in. Right. And the devs start to wake up. There are devs that have continued rugging all through the bear market. But now the ones that made all their money and they've been on their yachts and on their islands and, smoking and drinking and partying. Now it's time to come back in and try to take our money. So we all have to be very, very careful of what's going on out there. If you want to, you just have to think about it. If you want to go to the casino in crypto, then just gauge your risk. How much is your risk tolerance? How much are you willing to lose? And how loose are you willing to play? That's what I would say.
No, absolutely. I definitely do agree. And, when it comes to covering altcoin projects, I've never been in this position before, but I get extremely cautious of what to shill, especially if you're one of like the original people to talk about it, because stuff like this happens. But I definitely wanted to address that because I see a lot of people talking about on Twitter. And to be honest, I've seen a meme coin called, I think it was like JakeX. That one's really popping off real hard. That had a run up when I was gone. And I see a bunch of other ones. So I love the meme coins. I think they're cool. They're speculation. You got to really play those high risk, high reward. But at the end of the day, man, it's crypto. We're here to have fun. Now, let's move on to this new project you have. I'm really, really interested because this is another meme coin coming up. And the name of that project is BabydragonX. So could you give us like a brief explanation of the who, what, where, how? What is BabydragonX and what can we expect?
Yeah, sure. So let me point to the right part. So we got BabydragonX over here. That was not the original logo. So I am building titanX strongholds. That's a castle battle game NFTs because I'm a gamer myself, and I was doing all this, and I was going to have a coin, right? I was going to have a token in there. Well, I will have a token in there. And then a lot of people reach out to me, Kris. People reach out and they say, I want to do this. I want you to, can you help me ideation on this thing? So somebody reached out who has kind of, they're a beginner, right? My co-founder, Michael, he's very new to like creating stuff. Like he's been doing crypto for a while. So he reached out with a concept, with a luck dragon concept. It's a white dragon. You may have heard of it, Falcor, right? So it's going to be Falcor X. We loved it. Like we're going to do all kinds of things with that. It was going to be a fair launch, 77 billion tokens with all sevens. And it was only going to be like, 5 zeros and a 1 for a penny. It's going to under $8,000 market cap. And we were going to do a 24-hour fair launch. And we were going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then I said, you know what we're missing here? What are we going to pair the token with? We're going to pair it with titanX or DragonX. I said, I want to pair it with DragonX because I heard Eric talk with Jake one time to say that DragonX is a derivative on titanX. And if anybody builds on top of DragonX, they are a derivative on DragonX. And then the flywheel, like this whole thing about the flywheel going faster. I said, we're going to do that. So I reached out to Eric and said, how do I do that? Right? How do I, I'm sure it's more than just pairing with DragonX. Isn't a little bit more into the covers? He said, yeah. I'm reminded of that meme, first time, the guy out there with the noose. So I could just, because I love Eric, like his demeanor is hilarious. I can just tell he's thinking, oh, here we go. Newbie, first time doing anything. Because I do know DeFi and crypto, but it's the first time I've been responsible to build myself, right? So we took a lot of guidance from Eric, because the things we wanted to do, we adjusted things. And he said, instead of this luck dragon, why don't you do something cute? Why don't you do something like, we're DragonX. Why don't you do like Baby Dragon? Because you're not like riding on top of us. I said, well, that's a pretty good idea. So then we ran a contest. We created some logos, bunch of logos, like 20 of them. And then internally we picked like 4, like one community member too. Then we put a vote out, right? We put a vote out on Twitter, and 140 some votes, and the community selected this one.
Wow.
So yeah, that's that one. And just a little bit of, we can talk about like the specifics of it. So the next thing I'll say is, we really mean this to have a lot of fun, right? I am a fantasy player, like, the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I played it when I was a teenager. I just started playing it again about 3 or 4 months ago, every other Monday. Who said that? Oh, the Mo. Oh, geez, the Mo. I have $20. $20 is $20.
Yeah, sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to shout out to the Mo, man. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. You're a legend, great guy. Everybody, please follow the Mo. And I just want to show him slow because he did it 5 minutes ago. But yeah, man, I'm sorry. Keep going. My bad.
No, the Mo. I got so many stories about him. So I'll finish up so you can get on the next things. So we wanted to do all the right things. We wanted to be the fair launch, and we wanted to be. We wanted to like really pair with DragonX and like the ratios and all these types of things. So we've been working closely with them for a while. And yeah, we'll talk about time frames and tokenomics and things, but it's all about the story, Kris, right? This dragon, so the baby dragon is going to unfold an adventure. We've already had a couple of adventures, right? With titanX and with Jake. So we're going to start documenting these adventures. There's going to be a forum where people can, participate, and they can put their stories up. We'll vote on them, and they may or may not go into the storybook with the lore. There may or may not be eggs, right? Dragons are all about eggs. So I'm actually an advisor for Titan Legends, and they're doing an egg event. Egg event is coming up soon, and we're going to participate in that in a couple different ways as an individual. And if you check out our lore on the website, you'll see that Titan Legends is in our lineage. So it's more than just a meme coin. There's a whole story behind it, and we're really going to play in this story.
Yeah, well, some things that went through my mind, and you don't have to reveal it because I understand you got the whole map rolled out. You did talk about Axie Infinity, this concept of, I believe it was like the NFT 404 concept of combining tokens to NFTs. Sounds like you got something set up where you have the BabydragonX storyline revolving the NFTs and maybe do some sort of gamify, because it seems you're really interested in it. You don't have to answer that because I don't want to reveal your hand, but that's what I'm thinking. And if you guys continue to build a roadmap down the road, I think you got some potential. But there's a lot of stuff we got to unpack here. So before we get into that stuff, let's just get into the meat and the cheese, the stuff that people want. So my next question I was going to ask you was it inspired by DragonX? Answer that question. Awesome response. Now, I want to get into the mint phase. I saw a little bit of your white paper. The mint phase, I'm a little bit confused about, but you might have clarified a little bit. So basically, you have a 2-week mint phase, from my understanding, and you have one for titanX to DragonX, and then from DragonX to DBX. So, for example, the titanX to DragonX ratio would, for example, this is just an example. I'm not saying when it's going to launch or whatnot. It's 1 to 0.9 based off the DragonX protocol. So for every 1 titanX, you get 0.9 DragonX. And then from DragonX to BDX, you go from 0.9 to 1.1. So essentially, you're basically minting BDX through DragonX. Did I get that right?
You absolutely have it right. And we're still trying to figure out how to make this clear. So everything you said is correct.
Okay.
Let's start with that. So everything you said is correct. We've gotten some feedbacks with people saying, I don't know how to actually mint the BabyX. I understand this stuff. We even got one person say, is this a fantasy book or a white paper? I'm like, it's a fantasy. This is BabydragonX. There's going to be forged in the fire. We're probably not taking that out. So just like on DragonX, right? You go to the DragonX portal, like I did many times the first 2 weeks, and you're going to submit your titanX. That's all you have to do. So you submit your titanX, and in the background, right, in the crucible of fire and the celestial planes and all this type of thing, titanX is minted into DragonX. And then also behind the scenes, DragonX is minted into DBX. So that all happens. We'll probably make a little bit of a flow chart, maybe some pictures, like maybe some generative AI, make some pictures on it. So that's all behind the covers. Yeah.
Right. I think probably the best way to do it, honestly, is just say you commit this much BabydragonX with this DragonX, and don't even put the titanX, and let them go and figure it out. Because I mean, I understand what you guys are trying to do. So you have the titanX and the DragonX ratio going down, and then you have the BabydragonX ratio starting up pretty high, and it's going down as well. So you're basically utilizing that leverage play of titanX, which is, and then BabyX, which is a leverage play of DragonX. So it's like, well, let me get this straight. titanX is a leverage of Ethereum, DragonX is a leverage of titanX, and then BabydragonX is a leverage of DragonX. Man, I'm trying. This is like titanX Inception.
It really is like Inception. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Kris, about titanX being a play on Ethereum. I always forget that one. That's like the base. I forgot that one. So yeah, we're a couple levels up.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So this is an interesting approach. I like how you're incorporating DragonX into this, and you're basically essentially just building on top of the DragonX protocol. Now, my next question is, there's a burn wallet on titanX, right? You go burn titanX tokens, and you got to share that burn wallet. Why did you skip out on the burn wallet and mainly aim for DragonX? Was it because of your collaboration with the founder, or what was the motivation behind there?
So Eric is a fantastic person, right? Even before I've connected directly with him, I've always liked what he's done, right? In fact, I was still am fairly active in his community, and I made the Jared Leto memes. Like, because when I first saw him, he reminded me of Jared Leto. He's got the beard, he doesn't have the long hair, but he's got that demeanor, right? Like it's very even. Like he's like that. It's like that. You're not sure if he's a villain or a genius or like the hero. You're not sure and then he's just got that. So after speaking with him, and talking about, should we just do titanX? Should we just do DragonX? I see the big picture. So I'm not a DragonX maxi, but I fully believe in it, if we can say it like that. So I would rather take more titanX off the market and put it through this protocol like this. One person brought up a good question in the chat. Well, if you like DragonX so much, just let us submit DragonX into the protocol and get your BabydragonX. Well, I thought that actually, that I proposed that internally in our meetings, and then somebody came up with the beautiful proposition. Well, that DragonX is already created. If we have new titanX taken off the market, that makes new DragonX created. I was sold immediately as soon as they said that.
Okay, I get it. I mean, essentially, the process through minting BabydragonX, you're inadvertently burning titanX off the market, or
we're taking it off the market. We don't burn it off. We take it off the market. It's the same. Like, so just so I don't have to explain DragonX protocol to other people, because all I do is point them to the white paper. Hey, look at this. Look what they've done over there, because there's all those percentages and the 62s and the 28s and all that type of thing.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, okay. So I get what you're saying, and also shout out to Eric, phenomenal founder. We had a awesome live stream together. I remember talking to that guy. He's like, dude, did you know there's a thing called Crypto Wars? I was like, there's no way. And then I go into research. The guy's on point, man. Like that dude is a genius. He's really smart. Like when it comes to intelligence, I'm probably like down here. He's like through the roof.
So I'm down there with you. I'm right there down there with you. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're a surfer. I like to watch surfing. I like to just be on the beach and drinking. So I mean that's where I am.
Yeah. Keep it simple. So cool.
Very keep it simple. Yeah.
So we got the ratios down. And the idea is utilizing this ratio so that people more likely to mint BabydragonX in the beginning rather than later. Same concept we see with titanX, DragonX, and every single other protocol. Now, moving on, when I saw this white paper, you said there's going to be like a 14-week mint. And then after that, is it going to be no more tokens at the market?
Yeah. So it's 14 days. I may have heard you wrong.
Sorry.
Yeah, 14 days. Yeah. So 2 weeks, 14 days. We're going to follow DragonX, by the way. So I don't know if DragonX is in week 3, almost in week 4, right? So I think we'll launch on the first day of their week, but it really doesn't matter. But we probably will to keep it clean. So it will be a capped supply. So the interesting thing about DragonX is it's going to be a capped supply after the 12 weeks, right? And then they're going to keep burning. I think that's fantastic. BabydragonX, we're going to be an even shorter cap supply, right? It's only 2 weeks on this, and there's 2,000 people in the DragonX community. I didn't get a chance to look at Mike Dean's DragonX page yet. He's got a really good analytics there, but I haven't gone through it. But of all those people participating, a portion of them will participate in BabydragonX just because it makes sense, right? I mean, some people buy real estate, and then you buy a little bit of gold, or you buy a little bit of like this crazy asset over here that you're not even sure what it is. There'll be a portion of people that probably do the same thing.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I like this approach, and I'm sorry I said 14 week. I meant 14 days. But yeah, no, I see the vision, because with DragonX, it's designed to create this price level that gradually increases in retrospect to titanX, and then Eric talked about this depegging that where it depegs from that price level and then does its own thing because it comes to scarce supply. Now you got BabydragonX, which is accelerating that process at 14 days, which is pretty interesting. And I do like the approach, and I do see the vision. And the other thing I wanted to ask you, did you ever thought about leaving the supply uncapped, so you just have like a gradual exponential curve going down when it comes to tokens being minted?
So I'm a day one Zenian, Kris.
Okay, all right.
Day one Zenian.
I think you already answered it.
So there's the answer. Move on. But let me answer a little bit more. So I'm a C rank 556. Now that doesn't get you anything special. Probably in Hex, I'd be multimillionaire surfing on, I'd be on the Bali beaches, right? So I was day one. Connected with Jack Levin early. Met Zenzu in person at Token 2049. That guy's a giant. He's like 190 centimeters. I don't know, 6'6", 6'7". He's taller than everybody there, and there were thousands of people there. So inflationary supplies have their place, but I didn't want that here. I didn't want that.
Okay, no, I completely understand, and I got you. Now, let's get a little bit more to the project tokenomics, because this is interesting. I really like what we got going on here. But so there's a buy and burn behind the BabydragonX token. Actually, wait, let me back up. So you basically have a white paper, outlines the project tokenomics, and it talks about percent allocation. Before getting into every single percentage, my question is, do you have a Ethereum mint fee that's going to go into like a buy and burn Genesis wallet?
We don't. So imagine exactly the DragonX portal. When you go in there and you submit your titanX, that's exactly what we have. We don't have any types of miners or staking. Today we don't have any of those. We'll just say that.
Gotcha. So explain how this buy and burn is going to work then.
Yeah, so I pulled up the white paper myself just to look at it. So there's going to be a 50% allocation for the liquidity pool, right? DragonX and BDX is going to be there. There's a 3% Genesis. You're going to find we've done the same things as DragonX and titanX. We're not trying to break out of the mold here in some ways. And then there's a 34% DragonX buy and burn. So that's not going to be all at once. We will not be a usable caller function at first. Gas is too high. Don't know if you noticed. Like I said, I believe the bull run is here. I paid $35 for gas to mint my my coin yesterday. That's a lot of money, right? So there's no way it'll work. There is a way to gamify buy and burn, though, to have the user, the community member, earn more. There are ways to do that. It's too complicated for today. I would love to do that because community members always say, I want to play a game. I want to earn some money. I'll hit the buy and burn, but I can't be losing money every single time. I agree. And we will try to solve that at some point. So the buy and burn of 34%, that's going to be in a special wallet. It will only be able to buy and burn. It will not be able to do anything else. You can't transfer out. You can't do anything like that. We're going to be audited, by the way. So those functions will be clearly delineated. There'll be no ways around that because that's a sizable amount, 34%. Our dev fee is only 8%, right? So we're only taking the recommended daily allowance from founder Jake. So 34% buy and burn. It's a lot of resources in there. Want to make sure that's totally locked down. Then there's going to be a 5% expenses. What's that? Expenses? What is this, like a business trip? So there's a lot of expenses that come out of these projects, right? A lot of them. The big ones are the audits. Then you get the devs. There's different things you could do with development collaborations, but there's always expenses, websites, and all these other things.
Right.
So that's kind of the broad picture of breakdowns. We've gotten some feedback, including from Eric, saying, "Can you make this easier to understand?" So we're going to have another cut at it. The numbers aren't changing, but the way that we explain it, we're going to try to change.
Okay. Now, getting into the buy and burn, we'll start with this specifically. So I understand what you're saying as to how that is functioned. So basically, you take titanX, you mint your Dragon Baby X, right? Or BabydragonX. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
BDX. Yeah.
And so that titanX goes into a smart contract and it's held there through the minting phase. And then is that titanX come through, swap for DragonX, and then just DragonX to BDX, and then it's burned through that? Like, where's the money coming into?
Yeah, sure. So as far as I understand, because I haven't looked at the contracts myself, because they haven't been, even if I look at them, I probably don't know all those things. So I would expect that as you submit your titanX, it is immediately minted into DragonX, which is immediately turned into BDX, and then you get it in your wallet. So I expect, and I need to clarify that, is it all exactly at the same time? I personally want BDX in my wallet. I put that titanX up in there. I want my BDX back just like everybody else. So yeah, I would expect it to be a seamless process.
Okay, yeah. So that makes sense because when you look at the white paper, you're trying to figure out, okay, so how's this buy and burn done? Do you have to pay a fee, or is it the titanX you're using to mint essentially BDX? So that makes sense. So that goes through a buy and burn wallet. I understand there's going to be some timing thing. We don't have to get into that because you guys are in the initial launch phases. So basically, you have this 14-day mint phase. Yep. And then the buy and burn is going to slowly kick in. So that means the buy and burn address is going to be at like a fixed supply going on to the future. And then once it's out, it's out. Is that correct?
Yeah. So very good point, Kris. That gas tank it's just one gas tank. We don't refill it, right? We're not refilling it. I originally thought that there were going to be some LP fees, right, from the LP. But the way that we're going to burn LP, there's not going to be any fees. Because I thought we could always have a little trickle over there to burn whatever we want. Do we want to burn some titanX? Do we want to burn some DragonX? Do we want to burn some other meme coins? I would love to do some of those things. That's foreshadowing, by the way.
Gotcha. I got you. Okay. No, yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of ways you can gamify this ecosystem, and I'm glad when we spoke about your background, you talk about your involvement in gaming, because I see the direction this project and where it's going. So cool. Now you talked about the expenses. Now the next thing I want to get into is the Treasury. Treasury is an interesting one. So what's the purpose of the Treasury?
Yeah, so you know the dude. Have you had him on twice? I remember the last one. Did you have him on twice or just once?
No, I think he's in the chat here though. I definitely
Oh,
want
is
him
he?
on one more time. He was. I need to go through some comments, but I'm just fascinated. Let's see. Yeah, he's definitely here. What's up? What's up, the dude? I know he's in the
There he
chat.
is. What's up, that guy?
He's a
Him
nice
and his
guy.
team are incredible. What they are building, I am almost more excited for Helios than I am about BabydragonX, because Helios is coming on Valentine's Day. I made a joke earlier in the chat about in his chat actually, and I said Valentine's Day. What am I going to tell my date? You know, I won't be on the date because I'll be minting. Then I realized I don't have a date on Valentine's Day this year, so I'm free. I'm absolutely free. So we were inspired from Helios, right? When I read the white paper, when I heard dudes speaking on a bunch of different AMAs, I love the idea of having a treasury of which you can do things with that. It's not just a meme coin, right? The grant program is first. So this 4% of BDX, that is going to be going into what's a grant program. That's pretty flexible, right? If a new protocol comes out and they want to build something, maybe they don't have a lot. Personally, I'm not a wealthy guy. Like I don't have millions in crypto. Although I was in a little bit early, I didn't make all the gains. I didn't take all the profits like you're supposed to. So projects like mine could have definitely used a grant, a couple $1,000s. That would have been nice. So the grant program is going to be like that, right? It's a small amount, and then the investment pool and future rewards. Well, we're going to look to our older cousin Helios because they're launching early, and their investment pool, they've already thought through about what we would do or what they would do, like Aave investments, and here over here we would have a DAO. I'm not going to say we're going to copy their homework, but we are going to copy their homework, right? We are. We're gonna ask cousin dude, can we fork your DAO? If it works, you want to make sure it works first. I'm sure it will. So we just like to fork it and do the same kind of things with our side.
Okay, I like that approach because my next question was, I see the value in the buy and burn. I get the whole Genesis wallet. Every single project has one of them, one of those set up, and then the expenses is going to be used probably for marketing. I'm just speculating, or you don't answer
marketing audits, every expense. Like if it's an expense, we pay it from there.
Gotcha. But with the Treasury, that's going to be interesting because you're actually bringing value into the ecosystem, and that's what I was talking to the dude about. Is I get using the staking contract just like DragonX was doing, and I knew that was going to happen. I mapped that out when I saw the project development, and I think there's a power behind using other protocols to bring Ethereum in, because when you do that, you're actually bringing outside revenue, you're burning more titanX, and it's just going to help the entire ecosystem. So yeah, I do like that approach. The one thing I will say about that is what the dude is doing with that. I love saying the dude.
Me too.
It's a lot of work, and there's a lot of automation behind it, and there's a lot of stuff behind it. So if you guys can put out a product like that, I think it's going to be amazing, and that might differentiate you guys from traditional meme coins to utility coins. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think the dude and his team are very intelligent, sophisticated people. Based on their white paper, based on their streams, based on all of those things, right? So we're going to copy the homework. Right? I did a little bit of that in high school. I copied some people's homework. They copied my homework. It makes it easier. So in Web3, that's what collaboration is all about. We will be your Valentine. That's wonderful. There has been a lot of fun in that.
I think you got your answer. So I'm just saying. But yeah,
Helios will be the Valentine for BabydragonX. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So we don't want to like build something that's really complicated and confusing. If someone else builds that and then we fork it, or we reduce this the complexity of it, it's going to be fine. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Love it. All right. Now let's get into BabydragonX and traditional meme coins. I know you probably see my Twitter. You see what my friends and I do all the time. We're always the meme coin degenerates. Like if I was ever in a spaceship or a rocket ship or whatever, that'll probably be a bad idea because I'd be pressing buttons and pressing red buttons, and then we'd probably explode. That's the type of guy I am. So when it comes to BabydragonX, how's it different from traditional meme coins in your opinion?
Yeah, so I play in the meme coin space a little bit. I can never get in early to these things, right? Blaster, or what it's called, Blaster on PulseX or Pulsechain.
Blast, yeah.
I got in at the $2 million market cap. It went up to 18 million. Why couldn't I get in 100,000? Like I just didn't get in quite early enough, right? So BabydragonX is not meant to be a get in early and make your hundreds and 500x's. It could happen, right? But it's a 2-week fair launch, right? So you know exactly where you're getting in the first 7 days. You know exactly where you're getting in the next 7 days. What none of us know is what's going to happen after KingX and Helios and a couple things down the road. No one knows what's going to happen to the titanX price action based on all the supply that's going to be vacuumed up. Nobody knows those things. Irrespective of all of those things, though, this meme coin is going to have utility. So if you know anything about Titan Legends, you know that there's an event coming up with eggs. Nobody knows what it is. Even though I'm an advisor, I literally don't know what's going to happen. I don't have an egg. I tried to get an egg, but I couldn't get one. So BabydragonX, we're also going to learn from what happens in our dragon lineage from the egg event. See how it goes. I mean, there's only 23 eggs, I think, right? There used to be 28, but 600 total dragons and entities they disappeared. That's all we know is what happened. They were burned, but they disappeared. And now there's only like 23 eggs out of the original 28. So there's going to be some kind of event happening. Well, you can see over here. Well, what side? This side, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an egg too, right? Well, hopefully we have more eggs. So I like the idea of these assets. The ERC. Oh, I got to plug in my Lord. I like the idea of this whole ERC 404 thing. Could we fractionalize? Maybe. Let's look into that and do some things. So this meme coin, I'll have my own mini ecosystem of BabydragonX stuff, eggs, caves, you name it.
Wow, impressive! I love it. I think with this type of meme coin, if you continue to build on top of it, it can turn from a meme coin to something different very, very quickly. And what I'm seeing with the Gamify and the interaction with all the projects on top of the titanX ecosystem, you're basically combining it together and you're building a beautiful, vibrant community and also ecosystem on top of that. So I love the approach. When it comes to anything meme coins, when I get into these coins, I have a set timer in my head. I always do a lot of meme coins. If it goes up a certain percentage, I sell. I de-risk myself, and then sooner or later it goes up, and then crashes off into distance, and then that's it. So I think with BabydragonX, you definitely have something that will be able to be sustainable going on to the future. So absolutely, really great. Now, let's talk about the Ethereum blockchain. There's all these sorts of degens. I follow them all on Twitter. Do you think BabydragonX can attract the Ethereum degens? I'm talking about the meme coin traders, because that's the real question.
So sorry I had to jump and get my power strip. I hope we're plugged in here.
It's all right.
It went down from 100% to 5% in 50 minutes. Yeah, so my opinion is that the titanX ecosystem is kind of encircled, right? Where we're, I don't say closed, but we're kind of encircled, that everything is titanX. Like it's got to be, you got to have titanX, you got to do this. Future, like depending on the power, the success of BabydragonX, I would like there to be the ability for pure Ethereum to interact with the next contracts. So two options, right? You know, you mint something, or you participate something, or you bet on something, or you get something in titanX, but you also have an Ethereum option. That's what I want to have. We didn't want to have that on this one. Like this is just titanX, but in order to open up to the Ethereum crowd, you need to have it be accessible. That's my opinion. And gotcha. We absolutely will. Like I will definitely we're already thinking about these things, but we have to launch first. We have to be successful first for all of our community members. And after that, the sky's the limit. Like this is all this new stuff, right? You got the BRC20s, the SRC20s, the DRC20s. Now you got the ERC 404s. I think the ERC 404. I think there's a play there. Because it's brand new, right? Well, it's a new in this incarnation, and Baby Dragon is new too, right? It's just being born, so kind of goes together.
Absolutely. And the one thing I really want to stress, this is something we saw on Pulsechain. Everybody knows Teddy Bear from the 404 wallet address. I'm not going to get into
TGC or TGC.
Yeah. So these types of coins do really, really well. I'm not going to get into like the 404 PDI pegging theory. I'm covering that so much. But the best marketing tool are going to be these meme coins, because when someone sees a chart going absolutely ballistic, they're like, what is going on? What is this project? And how's it involved with other stuff? And so if you can produce a really well meme coin that can gain so much traction, that thing will spread like a wildfire. I see it with Bear. It was on Crypto Banter. B-Roots shilled it. And there's sooner or later, I don't know which titanX meme coin is going to be. It could be BabydragonX. It could be another one. I don't know. But one of these coins is going to go absolutely ballistic, and everyone's going to be like, what's going on and what is titanX? And that's when we're going to start to see a huge expansion of adoption across Ethereum. James, any thoughts on that?
A lot of thoughts. I thought about this when I was out for a quick stroll this morning, of which I'll be going out for another one after this stream. So, as some of you may know, I am the COO of a Web3 startup called Crypto Global United, right? Startups are hard. Funding is hard and that type of thing. So I am looking to make BabydragonX and the whole titanX ecosystem, I'm looking to make this my job, right? So I'm looking to pull away even another step from a regular job. Like I used to be a Microsoft partner leader. Like that's a full-time job, but then I was Web3 as a part-time job inside Microsoft. And then I moved over to Crypto Global United. I was 100% Web3, still in a job, a good job, and I like that job. But I don't know what the future of that job is, right? You know, great company, don't know what's going to happen. I'd like to turn this into my job. This is why I'm up a lot. I'm up, I'm online, I'm plugged in, I'm connected. I'm working really, really hard because I want this to be our entity. I don't want to call it a company because I don't want agendas and I don't want all that stuff, right? But I do want to create I want to create a powerful entity that generates revenue for all of the community members. It's not just line goes up, but line goes up is nice. I want there to be passive income generated out of this. I think KingX has the right narrative. I love their narrative, and I want to participate in that passive income too. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to do it with this. I'm going to build this into that. So awesome. That's the story. That's the story. It's going to be fun. It's going to be some D&D elements here. It's going to be some games. It's going to be some, different things. It's much more than a meme coin. Much, much more than a meme coin.
Yeah, no, you definitely got that point across. And based on what you guys are trying to build and how you're interacting with other teams across the space, you do have something special here, and I really do hope that you can focus on this and just make this your job and really build. And I think when it comes to companies in this space, there's always going to be Web3 companies. We need development teams on top of titanX. Yeah. And this is the one thing that really sold me on titanX, and I haven't told this on live stream before, so this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna say this. What really sold me on titanX was the fact that it utilizes fair launches, but it creates a system where developers can get paid. I don't care what anyone says. At the end of the day, when it comes to crypto projects, these teams need to get paid. That's why they have VC funding rounds. That's why they have pre-sales. If you want a quality product, you need to hire the right people. And one of my family members who used to work in Silicon Valley, the one thing he said is when it comes to phones, gadgets, computers, whatever, you get what you pay for. So if you get a $2,000 computer, you're going to get a computer that runs like really, really fast. If you pay for a $200 computer, it's going to be slow. It's going to have connectivity issues. It's not going to be the best thing. So how I see this is titanX is building a new standard approach so that project development teams can get paid, create really innovative projects on top of the Ethereum ecosystem, and also really create a vibrant community around fair launch principles. And that's what I love about it. Any thoughts on that, James?
I feel like you're reading my mind. Get out of my head. Get out of my It's literally exactly like I would only want to be associated with a group that I really believe in and I really like. I like the principles. I like the people. I like what we're doing. I like the flexibility to create this. Over the years, I've been in a box. Like, I used to be a director at IBM, and I used to be this title, and I used to be this title. And I always kind of kept myself doing this, compartmentalize. You don't have to compartmentalize yourself in Web3. And I'm slowly getting better at that, not doing it. And especially what we're doing here. In titanX, the sky's the limit. You can do anything you want. It's Stunna Breezy. I don't know. Do you watch Stunna Breezy?
A little bit.
He just hit like on one of my tweets. I tweeted a baby dragon that said, "Crypto is a solo sport," because he always says that in his streams. So I tweeted over, or I sent him over that, and he liked it, and he followed me. Actually, followed me. It's nice.
Wow, that's impressive, man. Congrats.
Yeah. So I just want to have fun with it, right? I want to have fun with this, and this is going to be my job. I got to create a revenue stream out of this. I got to make it good because it's not just a revenue stream for me. I've got a team. I want all of them to have a job, and I've got community members that I feel like it's shareholder value, right? So This is not investment advice, NFA, and we are not a security by any means, right? There's no proof. There's no guarantees. There's no working on behalf of others. None of those things, or depending on the work of others to gain value. There's none of those things. It's real. It's pure crypto, pure DeFi.
Gotcha. Awesome. Cool. Now, going on my next question, collaboration. Have you talked to Jake at all about any sort of collaboration between what you're building in titanX directly with the titanX team at all? Or any conversations, or
No.
is this solo? Okay.
Yeah, well, the reason I hesitate is because Jake is a very busy guy. And I did ping him, so there was a tweet he put out 4 or 5 weeks ago, and he said, if you're building something, message me, tweet me and put this thing here, and we're gonna have a special group of builders. Well, there already is a special group of builders. It's called titanX developers or devs or something. So I'm already in that one. Now there's another special group, and so I tried to get in that group. I didn't get in that group because I think they're too busy. And even though we're on the titanX hub website now, we're there. For some reason, Jake is swamped with things coming across his desk or across his trainer. Like, I'm sure he's at the gym, like he's doing half of his work at the gym there. So we're going to always work with titanX. Will we work directly with their devs? Sure, wouldn't mind. I think it's probably better in some cases to work with these other projects, work with Helios, work with titanX Market, to work directly with them and create some value. Titan Legends, how could I forget them? It's one of my favorites. So probably smaller teams, a little easier to get their attention, easier to do things with a smaller team, right? I come from big companies. You can't get anything done in big companies, let me just tell you. But when you got a little team, like 3 to 5 people, it's easy to get stuff done. Okay, we're going to do this. You agree on it, you start working on it. That doesn't happen in big organizations. And even though Jake's team may not be hundreds of people, the scope is enormous of what he's doing. So it's the similar type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. No. Awesome response. And I do know that Jake is probably focused on Hyper and Shogun.
Yeah.
This is just, I do have an engineering background as well. And I think what he was doing was trying to see what was going on with DragonX, and see how the launch went, see how people reacted, and see how the dust settles. And he mentioned doing work with DragonX. Actually, Eric said on my live stream that they're working together on a project. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if that's going to be like a Shogun integration or something. But what I suspect is they're trying to get something out in preparation for the amount of titanX that's going to hit the market in August, because if all these projects are out ready to go and then we start to see that inflation event hit, it's going to have minimal impact based off of the liquidity pools across the ecosystem, based off of the utility behind things like BabydragonX, titanX Legends, titanX Market. Man, I need to go through all these projects, man. There's so many names. I got to write a list.
So many, like 18 of them now, isn't there? It's hard to keep track.
It's hard to keep track, but I'm going to cover every single one of them. I promise you guys. But ultimately, if that is out and ready to go, that's when we're going to hit that hyperinflationary to hyperdeflationary point. So I'm really excited. I think you guys got a phenomenal project, and some overall thoughts of what I got from this interview. Dragon Baby X is a little bit more than Memecoin. It's basically another ecosystem within the ecosystem. You guys probably gonna get into the GameFi sector. You're adding some utility to add that value of that buy and burn, and I definitely can see you guys continue to work with other teams like Helios and DragonX. Now, the other thing I want to recommend is with the DragonX, with the buy and burn behind the BabydragonX, something you might want to consider is taking all that titanX out. I know you have like a cap supply on how much you can use to burn the DBX token, or did I say that right? BDX token. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But if you spread that out over a couple years, maybe 15 years, and titanX were to go from deflationary to hyperinflationary, you could potentially see a huge impact, and you could still have that value of that buy and burn going off into the future. That's just my overall thoughts on the situation. Or you can just go bananas with it in the first 3 years. But I mean, I'm not a developer, man. I'm just a guy who yells on a mic. So
You do a good job yelling on this mic. I mean, I've gotten some ideas from you over these months or weeks. It's been many weeks. So I got in day 33. It's like 70 some days, and I've been listening to you most of that. Like there's like a whole handful of. I don't want to call you influencers. You're much more than that. Like you don't just influence. You delve in. There's got to be another word for you guys.
Yeah.
So, just the depth of what you do. So it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I like to say analyst, but I'm just a degen at heart. So, but
a lot of analysts are degens, so I think that fit the bill.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, man, that's all the stuff I covered, and the other thing I will say with your project, once you guys have the audit out there, I'll be good to go. Love the project, and I think this will probably be one that I'll get into as long as the audit's out. And I know you guys are gonna put that out there, and yeah. And the other thing I gotta say, guys, I can't stress this enough. I get we're in the bull market. Please be careful with certain coins. Do your research, and I really want to say is please tread carefully. I don't think that you're going to have any problems with BabydragonX based off this conversation I had with James. But anything that comes up in the future, if your gut's telling you to just chill, maybe it's okay to wait a day or two. So I meant to throw that out on Twitter, but I wanted to say on this live stream. So, but yeah, man. Hey, any final thoughts or anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'll just say that, number one, thank you very much for having me on. It's almost becoming surreal. Like these celebrities on YouTube. I consider you a celebrity, Kris. I don't know if you know that. So these celebrities like Crypto Kindness has already reached out, I'm going to be on. So I've always been listening to you guys and like participating in these projects and in your chats. And now I'm on your stream, and now I'm talking to you, and now we're building something that I hope will be extremely impactful and a lot of fun. So thank you for having me on. Thank you for the people who have joined, and stop in our Telegram, start asking your questions.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. So here, I'm going to go through some of these comments. I'm terrible at comments. Yeah. Shout out to the Mo. Can't wait for this to start. Let's see. We got any comments. Where do we buy BabydragonX? Is there a titanX DEX? So I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be in Uniswap version 3, right?
It will be, absolutely. Yep, it'll be Uniswap. Oh yeah. So and another, we didn't talk about this. So during this whole 14-day period, you're going to have BDX in your wallet, but you can't trade it until the end. So right at the end of the 14 days, that's when we're going to activate that LP. Then people can trade. The reason we're doing this is because it's better for you. It's absolutely better for you. That way, the person who mints on day 1 and day 3 isn't affected by negative price action, even though I don't expect there to be on day 7 or day 12 or day 14. So you don't give people a chance to Let me take this 12% profit. Got to go buy McDonald's Happy Meals, which I don't mind. Also, I don't mind that. I don't mind that myself. But it's better to have all that really right there. You're going to see the supply, then the LP lands. So it's like you know exactly when it's going to get in. People say, I don't know when the meme coin is going to launch. You'll know exactly when the LP is going to be active. It's exactly after the 14 days. Now, and then you'll get to see it. So that's why we did it like that.
Okay, so there's not going to be like a price. It's just going to be in your wallet, and nobody can go in and directly buy it, right?
So this is what I expect. Nothing is ever finalized until the audit is back. The accepted audit is back. Maybe the audit comes back and says you should do it this way. So there might be a little change. As of right now, that's the way it is. As of right now.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen it done that way. So that's a new approach. I mean, I like it because if you get on day one, you're going to get the highest return behind the token. So that's interesting. Okay. What's up, Rooted? Always good to see you. Hey, titanX fam, what's up? Z, this is a funny one. Did titanX and DragonX have a baby and call it BabydragonX was born?
I mean, there might be some lore in this. So, I mean, who's this? Z. Great one, Z. Great one. Shout out. You should go in the Telegram and say something like that. We'll give you reputation. We got a reputation game going in the Telegram. I didn't even talk about that. I probably should.
Yeah.
So you're in the Telegram and you say something clever, or you say something that I think, or anybody, any community member can give you reputation by replying to the message and then putting a plus, or you help people out. Like you answer questions in there, you get reputation. It's not just fun to do. There's going to be a leaderboard where you're going to earn BabydragonX. You're actually going to earn crypto from that leaderboard. That leaderboard might get you other things too. Might get you access into like early, like you might know a little bit more about the eggs early on. You don't know, right? So that's that one. And so this is interesting because of the lore. So you go to the website, and then you'll see the lore, which is on a scroll, one of those antique ancient scrolls, and you'll see that Titan Legends is the full lineage. DragonX is basically the lifeblood of all of Baby Dragon, right? Mm-hmm. And titanX, I mean, that's where it all started, right? So that was the precursor for DragonX. We don't say the word sex because, PG-13, but yeah, something happened, when dragons, they just kind of pop up and there's eggs. Nobody knows really how that happens.
Right. Okay. I like that. Awesome. Good stuff. Willie B Long 33, shout out to you, man. Always in the chat, man. Good dude. Are these coins on ETH and we trade TC for them?
What's TC? What is that?
I'm not really sure. Oh, he said.
Oh, OTC? No, TX.
TX. What's that mean?
So, a lot of people are using the shortened version, titanX for TX.
Oh, okay.
And DX for DragonX. Like because nobody wants to type that whole thing out. I sure don't. So the liquidity pool will be DragonX, BabydragonX, BDX, right? You can trade any ERC. You can do USDT, you can do Ethereum. In the LP, it will actually have to go to DragonX, though, on the back end. So if you want to go faster with no extra swaps in the background, just use DragonX. You use what the LP is.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Let's see what else we got. Anything else we got here? All right. Then the Mo said this is the way a launch should be done. Awesome.
Ooh.
So
whoa, Mo doesn't, and so that's high compliments coming from Mo. Mo is extremely careful in what he gets involved with. I think his doggo will bark at him incessantly if he does the wrong thing. Or says the wrong thing. That's pretty high praise right there. That's pretty high praise.
Hey, Mo's a better man than me because, like I said, man, I'm always pressing buttons. That's how I roll, baby. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm excited to see how this meme coin plays out. Excited to see, any updates to the website, white paper. Please keep me updated, man. And like I said, there's an open invitation. If you ever want to come back on, man, just let me know, man. This is a really fun time. So good stuff.
I had a blast. Thank you very much for scheduling this thing. It's awesome. It's as much fun, even more fun than I thought it would be. So,
gotcha.
Great to be on here. Great to be out there sharing, and see you in the community. I'll be promoting your stuff no matter what you do, Kris. You do some really interesting stuff. So
I appreciate you, man. I always appreciate the support, man. And like I said, dude, what's your Twitter handle again? I need to put it down in the description.
JC Tech Future. I got that thing in 2015. I don't know why I put JC on it, but that's what it is. So JC Tech Future, because I used to be in IT and data center stuff. So there you are.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, hey, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Cheers.